The logjam at the top of the UFC lightweight division is about to begin clearing up. Not only is the vacant title on the line between Charlie Olives and Michael Chandler, but the former interim champ Tony Ferguson looks to return to contention by snapping his 2-fight skid against the surging Beneil Dariush. I'm Liam O'Griffin, and as always, the Guts and Glory statman, Mr. Andy Hickey, has been dumpster diving outside the homes of UFC stars to find clues and nuggets of information to compile 10 stats you need to know before watching this weekend's fights. You can follow him on Twitter to show your appreciation. Now, let's get on with it. Charles Oliveira made his UFC debut nearly 11 years ago when he submitted Darren Elkins in August of 2010. The only fighter to have gone 10 plus years from winning his UFC debut to winning the title is ruthless Robbie Lawler, who of course left the UFC for 8 years in between. This would mean that with a win, Oliveira would be the first fighter in history to have competed in the UFC for 10 plus years consecutively before winning a title. Michael Bisping came in 20 days short of this target with his middleweight title win against Luke Rockhold. While the Bronx is known as the submission king of the UFC, it took him 24 appearances in the organisation to notch his first win by strikes when he beat his nemesis Nick Lentz in 2019. This is the longest streak a fighter has gone in the UFC history before getting a win by TKO. He followed up that win against Jared Gooden, displaying his ever-growing arsenal. The oldest fighter to win a UFC lightweight title fight is the muscle shark Sean Sherk, who beat Hermes Franca just shy of his 34th birthday before being subsequently stripped of that title after a failed post-fight drug test. Michael Chandler turned 35 in April and will be the oldest lightweight champion in the 20-year history of lightweight title fights. Here's a question for you guys. Comment below if you know who Sean Sherk beat to first become the UFC lightweight champion. Chandler is best known for his championship reigns in Bellator, holding the 155-pound title on 3 occasions. He is set to become the 10th fighter to challenge for a title in both the UFC and Bellator, joining Tito Ortiz, Rory MacDonald, Benson Henderson, John Fitch, Eddie Alvarez, Joe Soto, Kyoji Horiguchi, Chris Cyborg and Valerie Letourneau. Rumble Johnson will become the 11th when he battles Vadim Nemkov after recently securing his shot at the Bellator light heavyweight strap. Tony Ferguson famously has a 12-fight win streak in the UFC that never materialised into an undisputed title shot for a plethora of reasons. He did, however, take home an interim title with a submission win against Kevin Lee on the 10th win of said streak. He's joined by Max Holloway as the only other fighter in modern UFC history to win 10 fights straight in the UFC without fighting for the undisputed belt during that time frame. Coincidentally, Holloway also won an interim belt on the 10th win of his streak. We're 5 stats in and 5 to go. If you've enjoyed this video so far, a thumbs up would be amazing. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down and piss off. No, only joking. We love you all for sticking around. Edson Barbosa burst onto the scene with a rare TKO victory via leg kicks on his UFC debut. Mike Lullo was the unlucky recipient of the now famed Barbosa kicking game. Rafael Oliveira saw the same fate when he succumbed to leg kicks on Barbosa's 7th appearance in the UFC. This saw Edson become only the 2nd fighter to win multiple fights in the UFC via leg kicks, joining K1 veteran Anthony Hardunk, a record that still stands today despite the rise of the calf kick in recent times. Lando Venata has quite a unique record in the UFC, with 3 wins, 5 losses and a very rare 2 draws. Since the UFC adopted the unified rules in November of 2020, there has only been 5 fighters that can lay claim to multiple draws in the octagon. Caul Uno, Marino Rodriguez, Brandon Moreno, BJ Penn and Lando himself. He goes in search of the hat-trick on Saturday. The UFC debuted the female flyweight division in 2017, and in the time since there has been just one sub-60 second finish in the division, and it belongs to Priscilla Cachoeira, who blasted Shayna Dobson for a 40-second TKO victory. The quick KO is a rarity for the ladies, with only Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes, Germaine de Randamie, Julia Avila, Poliano Botelho and Zhang Weili producing a finish via strikes in less than a minute. Jacare Souza is without doubt one of the greatest fighters to never compete for a title in the UFC. The former Strikeforce and ADCC champion will long be remembered for his grappling masterclasses. At 41, he is one of the oldest fighters in the UFC, and by a large margin in the middleweight division. He's a full 4 years older than 37-year-old Derek Brunson. His UFC career could be on the line against the surging Andre Muniz, with the UFC acting ruthlessly with stars of days gone by. Gina Mazani enters her flyweight bout having been a nomad in her most recent bouts. Constant weight jumping has seen Mazani compete at 125, 135 and interestingly 155 in her last 3 bouts, making her one of very few ladies in the UFC to have competed as a lightweight. Mazani now competes a full 30 pounds lighter than she did at the start of 2020. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more original content just like it, be sure to subscribe so you get all the latest releases from Guts and Glory MMA.